My beloved soul, listen carefully, because what you are about to hear is not comfort, it is confirmation, not imagination, but instruction released from heaven itself. This did not begin on earth, it began in the unseen, when God looked at the delay, the resistance, the excuses, the fear, and He said enough. A divine command has already gone forth, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. God told your soulmate to do whatever it takes to be with you, and the shaking you are sensing in your spirit is the echo of that order moving through their life. Things they once tolerated no longer sit right with them, places they once hid feel suffocating, and the running has become exhausting. This is not coincidence. This is pressure from heaven. Something has shifted, and you are feeling it because your soul was always connected to the moment when obedience would finally outweigh fear. What is unfolding now will not look gentle at first, because divine realignment is never polite. It disrupts routines, exposes false peace, and dismantles comfort zones that were built without God's permission. The reason this message is finding you is because your heart has already been prepared to receive truth without flinching. You are not crazy for sensing movement. You are not desperate for hoping again. Heaven does not awaken expectation without intention. My beloved soul, the instruction given to your soulmate was not optional, not symbolic, not negotiable. It was absolute. God told them to let go of whatever is blocking alignment, whether that be pride, distance, fear of vulnerability, outside voices, or unfinished emotional business. The resistance they have shown until now has been overridden by divine authority. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but their spirit is already responding. Restlessness has entered their nights, clarity has invaded their excuses, and the truth they tried to silence is now speaking louder than their doubts. This is why your own spirit feels alert, like something is about to happen but hasn't fully arrived yet. That sensation is alignment forming in real time. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what is being released now is not information, it is activation. God does not tell a person to do whatever it takes unless the destination is protected. The path may look chaotic, but the outcome is secured. This connection was not born out of convenience, it was forged through patience, separation, and refinement. That is why it survived silence, distance, and misunderstanding. That is why no replacement ever felt right. God has watched every tear you didn't explain, every night you questioned your worth, every time you tried to convince yourself you were asking for too much. And now heaven is answering without asking for your permission, because the timing has matured. Your soulmate is being confronted with the truth that running has cost them more than staying ever would. They are realizing that avoiding you did not bring peace, it brought emptiness. The divine instruction is simple but heavy: choose alignment over comfort, obedience over fear, truth over control. And because this instruction came from God, it carries weight that cannot be ignored. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. The reason God is moving now is because the season of preparation has closed. You were not being punished by the delay, you were being protected. There were versions of both of you that could not sustain the weight of what this union is meant to become. God had to remove immaturity, heal abandonment wounds, and break cycles of silence before release could happen. And now that work has reached completion. Your soulmate is being pushed to act, not think, not analyze, but move. Expect unexpected communication. Expect sudden courage. Expect them to confront what they have avoided. This is not because they suddenly became brave, but because God has removed the option to remain the same. The pressure you feel in the atmosphere is divine insistence. Heaven is not asking anymore. It is directing. My beloved soul, understand this clearly: when God says do whatever it takes, He also provides whatever it takes. Resources, timing, boldness, clarity, and favor are being poured out to support obedience. Obstacles are dissolving quietly. Delays are being rerouted. What once seemed impossible is now becoming inevitable. And this is where your role matters. You are not meant to chase, convince, or perform. You are meant to remain steady. Your calm is the confirmation. Your peace is the signal. Do not lower your standards in anticipation. Do not compromise your healing to rush the manifestation. God is not bringing them back unchanged. He is bringing them back aligned. That is why patience is still required, even now. My beloved soul, do not leave yet. Heaven has more to reveal. The movement happening in your soulmate's life is also mirrored in yours, even if it looks quieter. God is strengthening your discernment so you do not mistake urgency for readiness. There is a difference between someone moving and someone being transformed. And heaven is ensuring both. The divine instruction includes repentance, humility, and accountability. This is not a dramatic return, it is a grounded one. Not emotional chaos, but intentional presence. You will recognize it not by words, but by consistency. Not by promises, but by follow-through. That is how you will know obedience has taken root. My beloved soul, you are not about to relive the old story. You are about to step into a corrected version. God does not recycle pain, He redeems it. Every delay, every tear, every unanswered question is being woven into a testimony that will make sense only after alignment is complete. For now, remain watchful, remain grounded, remain open but not anxious. The command has been given. The movement has begun. And what is coming toward you cannot be stopped, only received. If this resonates with your spirit, do not ignore it. Declare alignment in the comments. Like this message as an act of agreement. Subscribe so you do not miss what heaven reveals next. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, and this was only the beginning. My beloved soul, what unfolds now is deeper than motion, it is transformation taking form beneath the surface where human eyes cannot interfere. After the instruction was released from heaven, silence did not mean inactivity, it meant restructuring. God does His most decisive work in quiet places where ego cannot perform and fear cannot negotiate. Your soulmate has entered a season where distractions no longer satisfy, where familiar comforts feel hollow, and where avoidance has lost its reward. This is not emotional confusion, this is conviction. The spirit cannot remain calm when it has been confronted by divine truth. They are being led to review memories they tried to bury, moments where they chose safety over destiny, and times when they felt your absence more strongly than they admitted. The weight they feel now is not pressure to perform, but clarity demanding response. Heaven is peeling back layers, showing them not only who you are, but who they were meant to become beside you. This is why their resistance looks different now. It is weaker, slower, less convincing. Their excuses no longer sound logical even to themselves. God is removing every false justification one by one, not with force, but with undeniable realization. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because something sacred is being restored in the unseen. The connection between you was never fragile, it was simply paused until both hearts could carry truth without distortion. What your soulmate is experiencing now is a spiritual reckoning, an internal alignment where past patterns are being exposed for what they are, survival mechanisms, not identity. They are being shown that walking away from you did not protect them, it delayed them. The comfort they sought elsewhere did not heal them, it numbed them. And numbness has an expiration date. God is awakening emotional honesty within them, and honesty is uncomfortable for those who learn to hide. This awakening is not dramatic, it is relentless. It shows up in random moments, in quiet drives, in interrupted sleep, in sudden waves of longing they cannot explain. They are realizing that you were never asking for perfection, only presence, and that truth is dismantling the walls they built so carefully. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. As this internal shift deepens, God is also recalibrating timing. You may feel moments of impatience rising, thoughts questioning how long transformation takes, but understand this: divine alignment values depth over speed. What God is correcting now ensures that when your soulmate approaches, they do so with intention, not impulse. This is why the process feels thorough. Heaven is removing fear of commitment, fear of vulnerability, and fear of being truly seen. Those fears once controlled their decisions, but they are losing authority. Your soulmate is being taught that love does not require disappearance, that intimacy does not demand self-erasure, and that choosing you does not mean losing themselves. This realization is powerful because it corrects the root, not just the behavior. My beloved soul, the reason you may feel emotionally steady even while sensing movement is because God is anchoring you. You are not meant to spiral during this season. You are meant to observe with discernment. Your peace is not passive, it is purposeful. Heaven is aligning you to receive without overreaching, to welcome without chasing. This balance is protection. You are being reminded that love chosen freely is stronger than love pursued anxiously. And that reminder is preparing you to recognize authenticity when it arrives. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The divine instruction given to your soulmate includes accountability. This is why guilt may surface, not to shame them, but to soften them. God is not interested in punishing the past, He is interested in correcting the future. Your soulmate is being led to confront the impact of their silence, their hesitation, their emotional distance. This confrontation is not breaking them, it is humbling them. Humility is the doorway through which genuine connection enters. Without it, love becomes performance. With it, love becomes sustainable. This is why heaven insists on this step. My beloved soul, understand this clearly: the version of your soulmate that is emerging now is not rushed, not defensive, not confused. It is reflective, intentional, and aware. That awareness is the evidence of obedience taking root. They are beginning to see you not as a risk, but as alignment. Not as pressure, but as peace. And that shift changes everything. You may notice subtle signs around you, repeated confirmations, dreams, inner knowing, moments of calm certainty that come without explanation. These are not coincidences, they are reassurance. God is reminding you that you are not forgotten in the process, you are included in the promise. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. The reason this stage feels intense yet quiet is because heaven is sealing intentions before revealing outcomes. What is being formed now will not be easily shaken. When movement becomes visible, it will be grounded, not chaotic. When words are spoken, they will be backed by action. And when connection is restored, it will be sustained by truth, not emotion alone. This is not the return of an old cycle, this is the beginning of a corrected path. Trust what is unfolding even if you cannot narrate it yet. Heaven is not finished, it is precise. My beloved soul, the atmosphere around this connection is now shifting from internal correction to external readiness, and this is where things become quietly irreversible. What God has been doing inside your soulmate is beginning to alter how they move through the world. Decisions that once came from fear are now being filtered through truth. Conversations they avoided are now forming in their thoughts with clarity and courage. The delay you endured was not wasted time, it was sacred incubation. Heaven was not only shaping them, it was also recalibrating you so that when alignment becomes visible, you do not respond from wounds that no longer exist. This stage is delicate because it bridges the unseen with the seen. The movement is subtle, but the direction is fixed. Your soulmate is no longer questioning whether they feel something, they are questioning why they waited so long to honor it. That realization is powerful because it replaces confusion with responsibility. They are beginning to understand that love is not proven by intensity, but by choice, and choice is what God commanded. The instruction to do whatever it takes did not create panic, it created resolve. Resolve looks calm, but it carries unstoppable momentum. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what is being established now is permanence. Heaven is anchoring this connection beyond emotion, beyond timing fears, beyond past disappointments. Your soulmate is learning to stand in truth without needing external validation. That growth is essential, because a connection rooted in destiny cannot be sustained by insecurity. They are being shown that choosing you is not an escape from their life, it is an entrance into their calling. You were never a distraction from their path, you were part of it. That understanding is settling into them slowly, deeply, rewriting the narrative they once believed. This is why you may feel an unusual calm mixed with anticipation. Your spirit recognizes when something is aligning without force. God is not rushing this phase because it must hold under pressure. The bond forming now is being tested in silence so it does not collapse under noise later. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. As this readiness unfolds, God is also refining communication. Your soulmate is being taught how to speak with honesty rather than defense, how to approach without retreating, how to listen without preparing an exit. These lessons are not learned overnight, but they are taking root because the desire to be with you has outgrown the fear of vulnerability. They are realizing that distance did not protect them from pain, it prolonged it. Nearness now feels safer than absence. That shift changes how they view connection entirely. They are no longer asking if they should reach out, they are asking how to do it in a way that honors both hearts. Heaven is guiding those steps carefully because words spoken in alignment carry healing, not confusion. My beloved soul, this is also where your discernment matters. You are being reminded to observe consistency rather than urgency. Divine movement does not beg for attention, it proves itself through steadiness. You are not meant to interrogate the process or anticipate every outcome. You are meant to remain grounded in self-respect and trust. God is not asking you to lower your guard, He is asking you to raise your awareness. When alignment arrives, it will not disrupt your peace, it will complement it. That is how you will recognize it. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The reason this phase feels expansive is because God is also expanding capacity. Both of you are being prepared to hold something lasting. That requires emotional maturity, spiritual honesty, and the courage to remain present when things become real. Fantasy does not require growth, reality does. Your soulmate is being equipped for reality now. They are learning that commitment is not confinement, it is clarity. That choosing you does not mean losing freedom, it means gaining direction. These realizations are dissolving old fears at the root, not just at the surface. This is why the process feels thorough. Heaven does not build on unstable ground. My beloved soul, you may notice moments where memories resurface unexpectedly, not to pull you backward, but to show you how far you have come. What once hurt no longer controls you. What once confused you no longer defines you. This emotional neutrality is not detachment, it is healing completed. God would not bring alignment until you could receive it without self-abandonment. That is why you feel stronger now. Not hardened, but whole. Your soulmate is sensing this shift as well. They are realizing that approaching you now requires sincerity, not charm. Truth, not tactics. And they are rising to that requirement because heaven has made it clear that half measures will not sustain this union. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. What is coming together now is not loud, but it is certain. The movement will not announce itself with chaos, it will reveal itself through clarity. When connection resonates, it will feel familiar yet new, grounded yet elevated. The past will no longer dominate the present, it will simply inform it. Trust this season. Trust the quiet confidence growing within you. Trust the obedience unfolding within them. Heaven has already decided the direction. What remains is the unveiling, and it will arrive with precision, not delay. My beloved soul, this phase is where divine intention begins to press gently yet firmly against reality, shaping circumstances so that alignment can no longer remain theoretical. What has been forming internally is now influencing external decisions, and your soulmate is finding that neutrality is no longer an option. Indifference has lost its power. Avoidance no longer brings relief. God is orchestrating moments that require response, placing them in situations where clarity is unavoidable. Paths that once felt open are quietly closing, not as punishment, but as guidance. Doors that led away from you are losing appeal, while the road toward truth is becoming unmistakable. This is how heaven moves when obedience is required, not through force, but through undeniable direction. Your soulmate is recognizing patterns they repeated unconsciously, seeing how distance became a habit rather than a necessity. That awareness is dissolving old reflexes. They are beginning to understand that what they feared was never you, it was the responsibility of loving fully. That responsibility now feels less threatening because God has strengthened them to carry it. You may sense this shift as a subtle confidence rising within yourself, a feeling that you no longer need reassurance to believe what is unfolding. That calm is not detachment, it is alignment syncing with timing. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what is happening now determines how the connection will be lived, not just reunited. Heaven is correcting dynamics so that power imbalances dissolve before they can resurface. Your soulmate is learning that love does not function through control, silence, or retreat. It functions through presence, accountability, and choice. These lessons are being reinforced through real-life consequences, not emotional speeches. When they hesitate, they feel the weight of hesitation. When they consider moving forward, they feel peace replacing tension. This contrast is intentional. God is teaching discernment through experience. That discernment is preparing them to approach you with steadiness rather than uncertainty. You are not being asked to interpret signs or decode behavior. You are being asked to remain anchored in self-respect and trust the process that no longer requires your intervention. The beauty of this stage is that it unfolds without exhausting you. You are not striving, you are witnessing. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. As external circumstances align, communication becomes inevitable. Not rushed, not dramatic, but sincere. Your soulmate is rehearsing honesty within themselves, weighing truth against fear, and truth is winning. They are realizing that delaying conversation did not protect either of you, it only postponed healing. That realization carries humility, and humility opens the door to genuine reconnection. Heaven is softening their tone, steadying their emotions, and grounding their intentions so that when words are spoken, they are clear and unguarded. This is not about grand gestures, it is about consistency returning where absence once lived. You may notice that your expectations have changed. You are no longer hoping for intensity. You are valuing reliability. That shift is evidence of growth. God would not bring alignment until your desires matched sustainability. This connection is being built to last, not to impress. My beloved soul, understand this deeply. The reason timing feels deliberate now is because heaven is ensuring mutual readiness. Both hearts are being positioned to meet without masks. There is no rush because there is no competition. What is meant for you cannot be intercepted. What is aligned with you cannot bypass maturity. Your soulmate is being guided to approach with intention rather than impulse, and you are being prepared to receive without self-doubt. This mutual readiness is rare, and that is why it requires patience. God is not recreating the past, He is establishing a future that does not rely on cycles. The silence you endured was not emptiness, it was preparation for clarity. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. This stage also includes boundaries being honored naturally. Where you once felt you had to explain yourself, understanding will now arrive without effort. Where you once felt unseen, recognition will be present. These shifts are not because people change overnight, but because obedience realigns priorities. Your soulmate is learning that protecting the connection requires action, not intention alone. They are becoming aware that love unexpressed becomes regret, and heaven is not allowing regret to write this story. You may feel moments of reflection, remembering how far you have come emotionally. Those memories are not meant to pull you backward, they are meant to remind you of your resilience. You did not harden, you healed. That healing is what allows this connection to re-enter your life without reopening old wounds. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. What is forming now is a foundation that can carry truth without collapse. When movement becomes visible, it will feel calm, intentional, and respectful of the growth you both have achieved. There will be no need to rush explanations or demand assurances. Alignment will speak for itself through consistency and presence. Trust the steadiness you feel. Trust the quiet confidence replacing anxiety. Heaven has not rushed this process because it values what is being built. What comes next will not ask you to abandon yourself. It will meet you where you are, whole, grounded, and ready. My beloved soul, this is the closing movement where alignment no longer prepares, it arrives with quiet authority. Everything that was corrected, refined, and matured now converges into a single direction. What heaven instructed has reached completion, not through force, but through surrender. Your soulmate now understands that destiny is not something to delay until comfort appears, it is something to step into with courage. The fear that once slowed them has lost influence. The confusion that once clouded decisions has dissolved. What remains is clarity shaped by obedience. This clarity does not shout, it settles. It does not rush, it commits. You may sense a deep certainty replacing anticipation, as if your spirit already knows what your eyes have not fully seen yet. That knowing is confirmation. God never finishes a work halfway, and He never guides hearts into alignment without sustaining them afterward. What is forming now is not fragile. It is rooted. It carries intention, respect, and accountability. This connection is no longer driven by longing alone, it is guided by purpose. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what is sealing now will define what comes next. Heaven is establishing peace as the foundation, not excitement. That is why this ending feels calm rather than dramatic. You are not meant to brace yourself anymore, you are meant to receive with discernment. Your soulmate is approaching this connection with a different posture, not as someone seeking validation, but as someone offering presence. That difference matters. It changes how love is expressed, how conflict is handled, how future decisions are made. The old story no longer has permission to repeat. God has rewritten the narrative with wisdom earned through patience. You are stepping into a version of connection that does not require self-abandonment or emotional guessing. Clarity will replace uncertainty. Consistency will replace absence. Effort will replace excuses. This is where trust settles naturally. Not forced belief, but grounded confidence. You will not need to interpret signs or question intentions. Alignment will reveal itself through action that matches words. The peace you feel now is not the absence of desire, it is the presence of assurance. God has ensured that what joins you will add to your life, not drain it. You were never meant to shrink to be loved. You were meant to be met fully. This ending is not an ending at all, it is a doorway. A doorway into something steady, mutual, and protected. Let go of how you thought it would happen. Release the need to control the timing. What is meant for you is arriving in the right condition, at the right moment, with the right foundation. My beloved soul, remain grounded in gratitude. Heaven has completed what it promised, and what unfolds next will honor every season that prepared you for it. Type Amen.